A superhero walking around with a frying pan, a grandfather taking on a gang of thugs, a guy who saved an acrobat, and many more like this. In this video we will discuss 10 real-life superheroes caught in camera. So, sit back, relax and enjoy the video till the end. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel, also thumbs up so you will be notified of our upcoming video. Number 10. Master Ho. We have someone you really don't want to be poked by, because getting poked by this guy will kill you. He has the strongest finger in the world, and he can in fact open a coconut using only his finger. He have a finger as strong as steel. Master Ho claims he can pierce a coconut using only his index finger. We tested the force needed to smash through just one coconut as 5 hammer strikes. Unbelievably, Master Host smashed all the coconuts with his index finger. Alright, honestly that is really impressive. Number 9. Mike Baster. At number 9 we have someone who is put on a game show, where his job was to do a lot of quick maths. Believe me, this is no easy task because math question had so many different numbers, and it was said out loud really quickly.
My name is Mike Beister, and my superhuman ability is mental math.
All right, Mike, keep your brain going for the last sales pitch.
My friend, you look like a smart fellow, so there's only one ride you need. It's the 1983 conversion van. It has a deal at just $320 a month for 60 months. Of course, that's just the base model. This little beauty is a little extra. Add on $220 for the windows, $550 for the power brakes, $80 for the power locks, $195 for the power seat, $625 for the... I'll throw that in for free too, except a fee of $210. But hold on, you are a safe driver, so we'll knock $10 off of all 60 monthly payments. And on top of that, your trade-in equals $820 off the total too. But before we go any further, you'll also need a warranty. Just $45 a month, $30 on the bill. And heck, I like you. So I'm willing to take a flat 10% off the top of this bad boy. What do you say? Can I get you in this car today?
We're looking at $24,264.
Yeah!
Number 8. Mark Felix. At number 8 we have the guy with the strongest hand in the world. He can bend almost anything just using his hands. Number 7. Jeffrey Dweller. In Florida, a 31-year-old fan of the famous game PUBG Mobile went to a party with friends. Dressed in a costume in homage to the game's hero, he determined to have a great time with his friends. Jeffrey Dweller walked towards the house of one of his friends holding a frying pan in one of his hands. Yes, a real one. There's no shortage of imagination. Suddenly, Jeffrey Dweller heard screams coming from the street perpendicular to the one he was on, those of Eric Holland, a man who was being attacked by a thief. The thief had prepared his attack in advance, detached the victim's bicycle with a bolt cutter and fled with the stolen goods. When Jeffrey realized that the thief was coming in his direction, he didn't think long before intercepting him and hitting him on the head with a skillet. The thief, dazed, immediately fall to the ground because of the shock. And yes, a blow from a frying pan must hurt a lot. Well, it seems that the frying pan is not in a very good condition anymore, but the main thing is that Jeffrey was able to recover the victim's bike and put the thief down. Jeffrey was able to rejoin his friends and enjoy the rest of an incredible evening with a juicy story to tell them. The 31-year-old man who has become a big hero in his city was able to put his skills as a great PUBG player to good use, even if only once. Like what, you should go out more often with a frying pan in your hands. You never know who you might run into on. Number 6. Bill. On April 3, 2018, an American man answering to the name of Bill was standing outside the door of a library in West Columbus. In the footage, the man was quietly waiting for his daughter to leave the facility when all of a sudden, Bill heard police sirens blaring and closing in on him. He looked around and saw that a man was running towards him, followed by a horde of armed police trying to stop him. Bill knew right away that the man was trying to get away and that he was already one step ahead of the police, seeing that the offender was getting closer and closer. Bill tried a master stroke. He stretched a leg backward just as the thug passed behind him. The criminal stumbled and immediately fell to the ground, giving the police ample time to make an arrest. Bill became a real superhero in a matter of seconds. Even though he could have been shot in the altercation, the 18-year-old criminal was carrying a Glock 9mm pistol with an extended, high-capacity magazine containing 29 rounds. Bill was highly commended for his brave act, which certainly saved the lives of several other people. Number 5. Dennis O'Connor. Dennis O'Connor is a grandfather like any other caring and passionate, but this 86-year-old grandpa has something extra. He's a real superhero. One evening, Dennis was sitting at the counter of the One Racing Bar in Glandmire, Cork, Ireland, with his friend Tim Murphy, the owner. The two men were chatting over a drink, totally forgetting that the night was favorable for crime and that criminals usually take advantage of it to attack people who are more fragile than them, especially when they are slightly tipsy. But this evening the delinquents were in the wrong place. While they were chatting at the bar counter, a group of young thugs armed with guns and hammers burst through the front door and started to attack them without thinking. Dennis, a retired millwright, went after one thug while Tim Murphy went after the other. He didn't run. He didn't hide. The only reflex he had when he saw the gun pointed at him was to grab a chair and try to knock out one of the thugs. The super fit grandpa was not afraid of the situation. On the contrary, he decided to fight to the end. The thieves who were planning to take the loot from the cash register immediately backed down at the sight of this super-powered grandpa. Despite his age, Dennis was able to defeat the thieves, who quickly left the scene, as it was obvious to him to help his friend. Dennis risked his life. A fight like this usually ends badly. Today, Dennis is recognized as a true hero. Everyone is proud of what he did, especially since it's not every day that a man of his age gets the better of 20-year-olds. Number 4. Mamadou Gassama. Mamadou Gassama is a young African of Malian origin in an irregular situation, who used to walk around the streets all day looking for work opportunities. One day, as he was passing by a building, Mamadou saw a 4-year-old child clinging to a balcony railing suspended in the air more than 15 meters above the ground. The 22-year-old undocumented immigrant then launched himself without thinking to the assault of the facade of the building with his bare hands under the acclamations and the encouragements of the pedestrians, defying the void and the height that separated each floor. Mamadou succeeded after a few seconds to reach the floor where the child was suspended and saving him in extremis. Nicknamed Spider-Man by the French, the young Malian, whose heroic action received several congratulations and recognition, including an invitation to the Élysée Palace by the President of the French Republic in person and a Grand Vermeil medal from the city of Paris. He was also regularized and naturalized French as a reward. And finally, number 3, a Russian soldier. This Russian soldier was as usual faithful to his post while patrolling the street. The man came face to face with an incredible scene. He saw a man dressed as a soldier taking a woman hostage. The man had grabbed her from behind and threatened her with a gun. Because of a misjudgment, the Russian soldier immediately threw himself on the alleged aggressor to violently tackle him to the ground. Upon seeing the scene, a whole film crew burst in to tell the soldier that it was only a staged scene and not a real kidnapping. Fortunately, the camera crew reacted quickly, otherwise the soldier would probably have injured the poor actor. The soldier, who finally realized that he had just made a huge mistake, let go of the actor before returning to his post. Of course, if the scene had been true, the soldier would have certainly been congratulated for the act of bravery he had shown. Number 2, a professional acrobat. The man you see here is a professional acrobat. He knows all about flips and somersaults. In these images, the acrobat was trying to impress the crowd watching with admiration by performing a series of backflips, jumps that require dexterity, agility, and a sharp eye. But sometimes even experts can make missteps in their discipline, and it can be very serious. While in the middle of his performance, under the astonished eyes of the spectators, the acrobat, performing blind spins, performed his last jump without paying attention to a huge pointed rock on which he was inevitably going to land. But this was without counting on the commendable gesture of a young person, who was attending the show at the time and who had the incredible reflex to push the acrobat at the last moment so that he would land elsewhere than on the rock. Shocked by what could have happened to him, the acrobat could not believe that he had just passed very close to a hemiplegia, since he would have received the blow directly on the skull. Relieved, the acrobat recovered and warmly thanked his savior. Number 1. A man who is definitely superhuman. It is something that you would probably think is absolutely impossible this guy pulls off. Some insane memorization and does some stuff that you would think would be definitely superhuman. You'll need to carefully study the sequence because you will have to either punch kick or otherwise strike the pads in order from 1 to 7.
All right, Cayman. Punch him in. And punch him in.
Hope you liked this video. Tell us what you think in the comments, and if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to get all the notifications and not miss anything from our upcoming